All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
Day 2, Eyeball Nation Showcase, the 7th annual. Some of y'all know me. I'm Ed. I'm coming. I do a lot of sports media in high school, middle school. Give kids exposure, opportunity to kind of get seen by college coaches, next level. We got Desmond here, and we got Rodney here. They're going to kind of give a brief description on what they do, who they're affiliated with.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Desmond Douglas. I'm with the Baller's Life. I also work with Future Prospect D1. I do a lot of the national evaluation under a ranking service. So I go to a lot of exposure events and scout new talent. So.
Good morning, I'm Rodney McCauley. I'm kind of freelance in the space, just get back where I can. I'm evaluator here at Eyeball Nation. Lucky, my God, I've been helping them for a long time. But as far as hats, I'll work with just any opportunity, any program I can. That's just really what I do. So I'm not just designated to anyone in particular. So.
Got you. We're glad to have y'all guys here. This is the 7th annual. You with Baller's Life, you say you've been around the game, you played at D1 level, of course, but when you come to these type of events, these type of showcases, especially grassroots, what necessarily are you looking for or what are you hoping to see at this level? I mean, you got first through 8th grade, I think 8th grade is? Yeah. So what are you looking for? It's way different from high school.
Touch base first. I'll touch base first. Me personally, I look for how a kid impacts the game. How they react to teammates, how they react to coaches, their body language, their attitude. It goes in a real big effect.
Got you. Is there more so like a less serious mode that you're kind of looking for, or is it more serious when you at this stage? Because I see a lot of kids like dancing, just having fun, like really just being a kid at the end of the day. Like, is it more so like when you see the 5th and 6th grade boys compared to the 7th and 8th grade boys, or you see the 7th and 8th grade girls compared to 3rd and 5th grade girls? Like, is there like a different thing that you kind of looking for? Like, you like, I don't care if they're having fun dancing and stuff like that. Like, what's your aspect on that?
I mean, as far as me personally, in the game of basketball, when you step on the court, it's serious. Friends or not, whatever, like, you're supposed to compete, right? You can have fun, you can do whatever you do, dance or whatever, because everyone has different personalities. But when you step on the court, you're supposed to compete, you're supposed to have energy, you're supposed to play hard, and that's foundational for me. Like, I gotta see how, get what I'm saying? I gotta see how you play. I gotta see how you react to coaching, because every second is crucial in the moment, especially if we're talking about recruiting. It only takes 1 to 2 minutes when a college coach steps in and look at a kid. So I seen a kid that was in the 2nd grade. We all saw the one-on-one. Like, he stepped out there and played older kids, and it's like he has the fire in him. So if you can tell your kids anything, when you get that opportunity, play your hardest. Because, I mean, you can't always say when and where you end up, but when you get that opportunity again, like, that's a fact.
Gotcha. Not granted, I will say, like, there ain't no college coaches looking at none of these kids. Let's just keep it real. So it's kind of like, yes, that's the future goal, but at the end of the day, like, I don't want parents to kind of get hyped. I tell parents all the time, like, I got an exposure program that I expose kids to college coaches, and they tell me, like, when is it too early? Like, when is it too late? Like, I really think, like, that 8th grade, 7th going to 8th grade, 8th grade going to 9th grade, like, that's when you really should start taking, like, recruiting. Because the earlier that you can get on and get noticed by college coaches, that's the best opportunity, rather than waiting until your sophomore summer or junior summer going into your senior year. That's the last, especially the way the recruitment game has kind of changed. But I think, like, for these type of events, like, you really get to showcase what you can do against elite talent, other elite talent, and then go back home and work on what you need to work on. I think that's what these type of showcases are, and a networking for parents. Be like, hey, who you working with? Like, different things like that. you working for a pretty big program, Ball's Life. Everybody knows Ball's Life. Kind of talk about the opportunity just to be on that type of platform and get the exposure as well.
You know, the opportunity to get on that platform is more eyes on a national standpoint, not just within your city. You know, there's a lot of good talent that could go unnoticed if you stay in that box. And that's why, you know, going to the right events is very important and crucial on the grassroots level. Because like you said, you know, it's a measuring stick. See where you measure up against other elite talent that's not in your neighborhood, not in your city, not in your state. And as you grow and you get older, you know, some of these kids, especially the 8th graders, speaking on the 8th graders that's going to high school next year, you want to get your name out there a little bit more. The younger kids, it's not as important right now, but you know, as the 8th grade, you want to pick it up with the events that you go to, making sure that your kids is getting the right exposure to help them get their name out and help them be more visible.
Gotcha. Last question. As a parent, coming to this, you ain't played a lick of basketball, you really don't know sports, but you know your kid loves basketball. What is something that what is some advice that you would give to a parent coming to this event, knowing that your kid loves playing basketball? They may be in that middle tier, not so elite, but they're not sorry, basically. But they're in the middle talent. Like, what advice would you give those parents that don't know anything about these type of events?
Just control what you can control. It's a long game. It's a journey, man. Appreciate the journey. I mean, of course, you see some kids are going to have the size and the things that's off the charts, but everybody's journey is different, you know. And you control and focus in on the things that what your child's strengths are, you know, and build on those. And I think it finds a way to work out, honestly.
Yeah, same thing, man. And just, you know, staying away from the comparing thing. Just really focus on your kid's strengths, your kid's weaknesses, and not really worry about the other kid. Just focus on your kid building good habits. It's all about building good habits. And once you put that main focus on building good habits, trust me, you're on a direction of being successful. So that's the main thing with me is really focus on good habits.
Gotcha. We're gonna open the floor up for any parents that may got any questions. If you got any questions, raise your hand or stand up.
Don't be shy.
Please don't be shy.
Okay, when you were at these events and you noticed a kid, like, how do these media companies reach out to start doing exposure? Is that like parents reaching out to like exposure people? Do you come to us? I guess that's the disconnect for me. Like, you're showing them off. Are parents supposed to be reaching out to these places as well once they get exposed, or are you coming to us?
I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest. Like, let's say, for instance, I get parents or kids that hit me up and be like, hey, how do I get on the page? Like, I think that's an initial start. So I kind of forward them to my university, basically, where I promote kids. And then on the other hand, like, I may reach out to a kid, be like, hey, I seen you play, yada, 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 who you working with, who you training with, and we'll just kind of touch base and be like, who your parents? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of parents don't have Instagram, of course. Like, so what's time? The parent is running the kid's Instagram, so if I'm talking to the kids' page, I'm pretty much talking to the parents. So it's just kind of like I think it's a 50-50 kind of thing. But I think it's more so like, if you know your kid is good, I think you should be reaching out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't wait to the opportunity. Like, don't wait for the opportunity. Like, kind of create the opportunity in a sense. If you know your kid is going to be good, even in high school. Like, if you know your kid's good in grassroots, and you know your kid gonna be good. Because high school basketball is not top tier like it is select. So if you know your kid is good in middle school, they're gonna be pretty good in high school as well if they keep working. So I think it's like a 50-50 thing with me.
No, I agree 100% on the 50-50. I think it should go both ways. And it's always gonna be better the more platforms that your kid is on. So the more relationships, the more networks that you build, it's only gonna help your kids' visibility. if they got Instagram, reach out on Instagram, Twitter, emails. Don't be afraid to be annoying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Question, really.
No, be annoying.
Yeah.
I'm telling you 100%, be annoying. You know, again, it's, you gotta understand, it's thousands of kids, millions of kids trying to get to the same spot or get the same exposure as your kids. So that's a part of that good habit that I was talking about. That's a good habit, building relationships. You know, teaching your kids to also build relationships. One of the biggest things that I tell parents too is build relationships with different media platforms. Those guys with the cameras. Because a guy like myself, when I do a lot of evaluation, if I can't see you at that event, I have a lot of relationships with different filmers and different media platforms that actually send me footage, and I'm up 4 or 5, 3 in the morning watching footage. Not the highlight, not just the highlight. If I got relationships that somebody that can send me a full game on a kid, I'm gonna sit there and watch a full game on a kid. Now what that does, and put that kid on my radar. So now, if I end up seeing that kid in person, I'm like, this is that kid I was watching film on. Now I get to see him in person.
Gotcha.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think sometimes the highlights lie?
I think
Because I'm gonna give you an example. Last night, like you said, Instagram. I'm not on it that much. My son is. He's in the 6th grade.
right.
And he woke me up, you know, come here today on the drive here. He like, look at this. I played better than this kid last night. I mean, yesterday. And I'm like, I have no control of that. But he said he's gonna come today and get in front of all the cameras.
I love it. I love it.
Well, that's a good.
Because when he did show me, I stayed here all day long. Wasn't planning to, but I did. And I watched all the kids. And when he showed me that kid, I'm like, damn, he's right.
We appreciate your honesty. So here's the thing. I'll touch base on that. Again, in that situation, what I would tell my kid is, don't worry about that. You just go and you continue to do you. You play your game, because again, you want to stay away from the comparing thing, right? Just tell him that you go and play your game. Make sure that you playing the right way. That goes to the good habits.
I always tell my kids.
Now the kid that you're referring to, ain't no telling if that kid already done had a relationship with whoever put that footage out. That goes back to your question. So maybe they already invested and said, look, we're gonna get a highlight or whatever, and he just got out quicker than your kid. Not to say that your kid might not get picked up later on throughout the event, because it's a lot of other media platforms that is just randomly putting out kids that they feel is within their liking at that impactful moment. You know what I'm saying? There's 4 courts going on. You got certain evaluators bouncing around. You got certain filmers bouncing around. They might have not been on the court.
Yeah.
That person that put that footage might not have been on the court while your son was doing whatever he was doing, and they walked over there at that moment and he did something that they like, and they probably just put it out. Yeah.
I always tell him go earn your spot.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
earn it.
Yeah.
I want to chime in on that one.
Earn it. And not to cut you off, and tell them kids don't be shy. Don't come in here and be shy. Greet people, because you never know who is in an event. Like this whole weekend I didn't come with any of my logo. I don't have my logo on. Certain events that kids do know me or know my logo. What I notice is when I walk over to a court, I'll see a kid do something like they'll force themselves to go and score the ball.
Because they see you.
Because they see me. And what a lot of kids don't realize is you don't have to impact the game by just scoring the ball, especially with an evaluator like me. First thing I'm looking at is how you impacting it outside of scoring the ball. What's your body language out? How do you look as far as being a good teammate?
Oh, I thought that was a good question, good response. I was just telling her, she's a college coach, she's gonna speak in a minute. I work with the 17 and high school kids. Highlights are highlights. Kids are gonna have highlights. They're gonna do things. But once your kids start transcending into high school, what's gonna happen, and happened this year, the coach reached out to me, hey, I seen your highlights y'all posted on X after this event. Now, can I get the full game?
That's
So,
why I asked for the full
don't get caught, like, highlight to highlight. Don't get caught up in the full game. Like I tell kids, when you watch ESPN, you're gonna see Steph Curry makes. You're never gonna see, he had 40 that night, but he went, let's say, 8 for 25. That means he missed 17 shots. They're never gonna highlight the 17 misses. So, I mean, that's just part of it. I mean, we live in a social media world, but just keep worrying about the full game. Okay, was he in the gaps? Did he get a steal?
Right.
Like he said, as an evaluator, coaches are looking at, oh, did he dive for the 50-50 ball? I haven't never seen a 50-50 ball on a highlight. Meaning a guy went and dove for it. I've never seen it. But I tell my kids in the summertime, when you create your highlights, you need to put 50-50 balls in there. Don't put a rebound when a ball fell on you. Did you go get the rebound? Defense, like, are you getting legitimate stops? Like, you wanted that in your highlights. You want your highlights to have assists, stops, 50-50 balls, rebounding, and scoring. You want to mix it in. So that's something that you can think about as you go forward, as when they, transition from 8th grade to 9th grade.
Gotcha. All right. Oh, damn. Can I get one more?
One more question.
One more.
We still got this.
He had his hand up first.
Okay.
Save it for the next segment.
I heard you also played that home in St. Louis.
I can hear you.
always sending me, I got a kid. You play Steve, out here in Dallas.
Uh-huh.
You play all year round in St. Louis. You always sending me all these different, these top lists. Hey, look at these, hang on these lists, top this, top that. I'm like, I don't know which one is official yet. I'm like, man, just look at this. I always know really official. Top list for these kids for real. We just kind of
Right.
score them. I said like in a bad way because they're still young. But now they all competitive. Y'all Instagram looking up stuff, top this, top that. And that stuff really, but it's so many different medias putting out these type of lists. Is there like a one that you actually should be looking at, or for real, it don't even matter right now until you get the ESPN stuff?
I'm gonna answer this.
So I'll touch base with you real quick. So again, it does matter for them 8th graders, them 7th graders. Because just like you said, when you get to ESPN, they not gonna know them incoming freshmen. They're gonna need some type of reference list to go to and pick up. They're gonna go from that reference list, and then that's how they're gonna build their database. Your database is built from what you put out. And then somebody like myself, I put something out and your kid is not on that list. I didn't see your kid, or somebody didn't tell me about your kids yet. What you do as a parent, reach out, hey, such and such and such and such, can you take a look at him and put him on our radar? The way to get on certain platforms like myself is when you're putting out stuff, tag us, because we have a team behind us that if I don't see it, somebody else will see it. Look, this kid been tagging us on a lot of posts. Let's take a look at this kid out in St. Louis. Once he becomes on our radar, then we'll continue to look at him. Another mistake that a lot of kids and parents make when they're building their social media, if somebody tell me John Black can go, and I look up John Black, and I can't find John Black because John Black got on his Instagram handler, you can't guard me, but it has his name nowhere. His name needs to be present on every social media platform, his Twitter, his Instagram, his Facebook. It needs to be his first and his last name. His page needs to be public, not private. And that's just some key tips. I know we probably got to wrap it up. I'll be bouncing around. I'm open for anybody to come to me throughout the event and ask for any questions.
Where are you at? You at the front?
I'll be at the front. We got some merchandise in the front, the Ballers Life gear. It's on sale this weekend.
$1, $1.
Black Friday.
Thank y'all.
We got
other speakers, so yeah, y'all got some real good people.
All right, we have the honor of having a college coach here. Somebody that's been on the high school side, college side, Stephanie Cooper. What's good?
Right now I'm at the University of Virgin Islands. We're the only HBCU in the Caribbean. We also are NAIA 4-year.
Gotcha. Coming to these types of events, we just kind of talked about getting an early sight on kids. Kind of talk about your perspective on coming to an event like this.
So for me, just like you guys said, it's grassroots. So as a coach, as an evaluator, we want these kids on our radar at the earliest that they start hooping. So for me, I've even sitting here and seeing Spirit and just other kids, I've been tracking these kids since they're elementary, some 5th, 6th, coming to a lot of these programs. Even some of you guys, they'll come and say hi and be like, oh, I just saw you at the Wings, or I seen you at USA or whatever. But I'm just like your players, we gotta be at the same thing so I can know what is the product. And for me, like I always say, I don't just recruit for my school. I recruit for my conference. I recruit for my colleague. It's a whole network. So even, this man, I'm on his page. So I'll see his highlights and I'm like, hey, who's this kid? Send me their information. So for me, these are things that I have to be at. And I also want to, it's my give back as a coach, because again, when I was in 5th and 6th grade, nobody knew who I was, but it just took one person to kind of recognize. And so I always volunteer, whatever. Like, I'm always going to give back to these youth programs.
Gotcha. What is the hardest thing to kind of gauge with coming to these type of events? Of course, like, and when I say like gauge, I mean like from a skill, talent standpoint, because you got some kids that's just bigger than everybody. But then yesterday, I had some little bitty that was getting to it. So like, how do you kind of gauge that?
Well, just like y'all said in the first session, so if you're out here too cool, you gotta bring your best. And that's just like the hustle plays, that's just the effort. That's being coachable. If we're talking in the huddle, is your kid the last one walking? Are they first one running, like from every place? Yesterday, the directive was bring your basketball with you, all 4 baskets, all 4 courts. Did you have your ball? Were we telling you to go back? If it's one of those things, like those are the little things, not even to the skill level. Today in the All-Star game, we'll get to see more how effective the student athletes are. But just first glance, when we're in there in the skill, we're looking at are they able to take direction? We're not out there just drawing up stuff. It's 10 minutes, you gotta come, you gotta be focused, you gotta compartmentalize what's going on. You gotta be able to take 10 different coaches, you know what I mean, in an hour or in the span of however long we're out here today. So it's more so just the details, the effort. I always tell them in the huddle, especially with the girls, like, do you even know your teammate's name? If we're in 3-on-3 and I'm going over there 10 minutes in and I'm like, y'all still saying, hey, who? Like, the first thing you gotta do is communicate, and you gotta know who your teammates are. By that, we were scrimmaging an hour, 30 minutes. By that first 20 minutes, you should already know who your shooters are. You should already know like who your passers are, and like finding those things within that time span, whether it's a 3-on-3 or a 5-on-5. So it's the IQ, it's just being coachable, and then the effort.
Gotcha. How hard do you evaluate the 8th graders?
How hard?
Yeah, how hard do you evaluate?
I mean, if they're saying that they want to go at the collegiate level, next level, you gotta have that dog mentality in you now. And to be full transparent, I brought my niece to this camp. She's out in Keller, and so she's averaging about 25 points a game. She came out here yesterday and was like, what is this? And it's a true wake-up call for them. So by the time they're in 8th grade, if you're gonna take it serious, and when you come to these kind of showcases, it's gonna make or break. And that's real, and the parents too. A lot of y'all might have a wake-up call after tonight, like, hey, my baby ain't gonna make it, she just might, or he just might. And that's a realistic thing, because, well, when are you gonna wait? You know what I mean? If they're not getting recruited, they said 8th, 9th grade, depending on the level that you're trying to get to, D1, they already know who these kids are, like I said, 5th, 6th grade, okay? By the time you're in high school, you're really getting like the I don't wanna say, how do I word this? You're getting, there's programs for everybody, but it's not gonna be the top if you're in high school and we're just now learning who you are. And just like to someone mentioned the rankings, I'm from Texas, so you know I know eyeball, I know ImComing, I know some other like top rankings to actually look at that are respectable and that actually like tell the truth. But then there's also some that like, how are this kid or how are they on here? So it's truly a wake up call. So by 8th grade, like now, even when y'all get home this weekend, hey son, hey daughter, like what's the direction that do you really want to go? Because basketball is not going to be it. And you got to have that conversation.
Gotcha. What does the transition kind of look like? Because you've been on the high school scene. What does that transition look like from middle school to high school? What do you see most kids kind of struggle with that's in athletics?
From middle school to high school,
Yeah.
is going to be the pacing of the game, like the IQ. Then you're getting into different coaches' styles, different sets, set plays, opposed to like you come out here, it's a freestyle. You know, we're not drawing up plays and doing all that. It's like transition, 5 out, who's running the floor, those types of things. So their main transition is number one, the balance, especially those freshmen. And now you're getting into a lot of programs that only have a varsity and a JV team. So you're not even being able to be developed as you should as a freshman. So a lot of times they're just getting thrown onto JV, no minutes. So it's like, what kind of practice player are you becoming in that time? And then the length of the game is different as well. And then when you jump to college, we talking Texas, no shot clock. So now you're going to a shot clock, and this is the first 3 months, like with true freshmen. I only had one true freshman I recruited this year on my roster, and you're seeing that a lot of the times too. So that's a whole different beast.
Gotcha. And you just said like, I just think like kind of get into that recruiting thing. You only recruited one true freshman.
And she's from Texas. I show love to Texas for sure.
Like, I think that's kind of like and you're an NAI.
And I'm in AI, and she started for me, but you know she was averaging 30 points. She's a shooter, but she grinds. She led with her defense and everything, like from East Bernard, Texas. Like, come on, you know what I mean? But again, just coming to these events, I catch the sleepers, and so if they're hustling, they can get it. Like, we're gonna track those players. So even to go back to the big girl, what's her name? Paisley. That's out here today.
Number 233.
233. All right, so everybody sees her based on size, right? Yeah, but then if I'm knowing the type of program that I have, and if everybody's kind of on that radar, all right, she's probably gonna go get picked up somewhere else. So I probably won't even have that conversation, engage with that. So I'm going to like the other players, and it's these kind of events where you're gonna catch those sleeper athletes, as I like to call. But like they said earlier, like you never know who's watching. But yeah.
Gotcha.
It's important.
And I think I want to really put that into perspective. Like, your kid got to really be good.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, like even to make it NAIA level.
Yeah.
If you looking at everybody else's eyes, it's kind of like NAIA compared to D2, D3, D1, like even JUCO. Like I feel like some JUCOs is better than NAIA. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you want to put it into that frame, like your kid really gotta want this.
Yeah.
So if your kid don't want this, even just the hair, it's kind of like
It's gonna show.
it's
And it shows in their talk. So yesterday, I'm sore, I don't want to go today. If you had to talk your kid into being here today, sorry, but when they get to the collegiate level, there is you know what the schedule is, you know what time to be here. You know, high school, your coaches may still call you and teams or whatever it is, like, oh, we got practice. It's not like that. You know exactly what time to be here, and if you're not, that's it.
Yeah,
So-
and I think the demand gets higher and higher.
Yeah.
As you get older, it's kind of like this is like a demand in a sense, like coming to these exposure events, spending money. Ain't no telling how much money y'all done spent over the summer to now. You know what I'm saying? Just coming to these camps, AAU, like. As a parent, you gotta be invested. I feel like most parents are invested before their kids kind of invested because, I mean, you wanna see your kid do good. You know what I'm saying? Something. So you're gonna spend the money on them. Even if they ain't even good, you're gonna spend the money on them. But I think like, especially nowadays, like, I really feel like in any sport, I feel like your kid really has to want to do that certain sport. Otherwise, they ain't gonna last long.
Yeah, and that's not sport, that's whatever their hobbies is, and it's the same with academics. So if they're lazy on the academic side, you can't even talk about college. It's a 2.0. That's not a C. You can't go through high school, excuse me, which is all C's. Like, they really don't understand how important that GPA is. I probably had, even last semester, just so many kids couldn't even get into the school because their GPAs was less than that. But they're the top players, but if you truancy, not going to class, every other thing, but you ain't got the right credits, like, what are you doing? You can't do anything. And I've seen it's even a drop, or it's even an increase in the amount of first true freshmen from that first semester that are failing and not even eligible second semester. And that's that's another misconception too. Your scholarships, they're not year, it's semesters based. So if I got a player, she's ineligible for the spring, you're not getting money for the spring. And if you are, like, you probably, it's rare. So the grades are gonna be important too. So if they don't have that hair, and they not whatever invested in whatever it is they're doing, is gonna show, and it's not gonna be good in the long run.
Got you. Any parents got any questions? I know you had one earlier, but
So I guess my question was, if y'all are telling us to build relationships early,
right.
and you represent one organization, the guy that left represented another organization, what are the top media and exposure networks that you would say we need to put on our list to make sure we're trying to build those relationships with?
It's hard to say the top,
Yeah, I think that's like a.
but it
Yeah.
depends on the program. It depends on like where y'all student athletes want to be.
Okay.
So
I mean, if you had a kid, what would be the 10 that you reached out to as a priority list?
yeah,
Girl, boy.
Boy, but generally, right, like
Yeah.
I have a middle schooler who, we live in Waco, and so we
Okay.
play for D-Town Magic, but we drive here, and so we're just now hitting the Dallas scene, so I don't know anything, I don't know, y'all, I barely am learning this.
Right.
Yeah.
So, where do we start, right?
Gotcha.
social media, Instagram. Start with eyeball, and you can just. I mean, I'm saying it, but it is one of the tops. Yeah. No, they are one of the tops. Even his platform that he has. It's a lot of people in the building that have, like, a lot of these coaches are trainers. So if you just connect with them, now y'all are connected to me. So it's like anything that comes to Dallas, then that's where they have to be, or Houston.
Anything in Texas, you just hit me up.
For real. They on the tour.
I'm good for, real quick, I'm gonna add this, because we collaborate, we collaborate with
A lot of people, yeah.
Too. So like, if you start with us, we reshare their stuff, they should reshare our stuff. Ballers Life that was just here, we reshare, so.
Yeah, my son got a hold of my phone and I found out that I already follow you. And I was like, okay, great, so maybe I need to talk to him, but, okay.
It's no cookie cut, it's not a cookie cut
Yeah, it's
process. It's
not.
like,
Yeah.
you gotta find your way. And
Yeah.
the biggest thing, like you said, take care of your grades.
I will say this though, like the platforms that you look at, just make sure they are helping kids.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell that if I look at his platform, I can see that he's helping kids. Like a lot of them be BS.
Oh yeah, don't give your money to
You gotta
nobody.
look at those kids and be like, hey, they went through here and they made it here.
To us, collaboration is
Can I ask you
everything.
a question real quick? What do you feel about kids going out of the state and playing in tournaments? Do they help their platform? Because my son in 6th grade, he's been doing it for 3 years. She just came from Waco, this is your first Waco call, right?
Yeah, I would say, we played for D-Town Magic in the summer, and that was our first wake-up call, because they're an elite, they have elite players, right? They have a top-ranked player in the 2031 team. And I was
But
like,
with-
oh, okay.
But is it
Caleb,
good
yeah.
for team, clubs to go to different states and play in these different tournaments? Do they help their
He's
platform?
Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, that's the EYBL circuit. So anytime you can get in front of.
EYP, but they started in there. That's Nike, right?
Yeah,
They
but I'm
started
just
in
saying
grade.
that type of circuit, anything like that where they're traveling, that's where y'all want to be.
And Adidas, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
This is not good. And I gotta tell y'all, as talking, I've been doing this game for 36 years. She was my point guard, right? the first thing you're gonna have to do is get a development plan and get your kids trained right.
That's it.
Crap with all that media crap
That's it.
right now. If your kid ain't putting the work in,
That's
if you're
it.
trained right, all
That's
that
it.
media stuff doesn't even matter. Anything you're doing in it does not even matter. So get a development plan, make sure they are serious about these games, and make sure they want to put in the work. It can't be you putting in the work for them. Now, but you can assist them and push them along. But if you don't get that part first, it's like building a house. Your foundation comes first,
That's it.
and then you put everything else up. If you don't get that part done right, everything else is done for nothing. So you gotta get that part first. If you ask me my question, and I recruit for like, right now, I had 40 college coaches hit me up yesterday. I'm not even working the event, but they're watching, and they hit me up asking me, man, what's up with this kid, what's up with that kid? I am blessed to have a good kid. My grandson in Spain, he's a good kid. I am blessed to have other good players around me that's on my team. That's playing in this tournament. But look, if you don't put the groundwork in first, all this other stuff don't even matter. Okay? That's the first thing you gotta do. All right?
And real quick, I was thinking the same thing. First, I want to say, like, this is one of the quality showcases. It's a showcase on every corner now, so don't be fooled, do some research. I think they do a good job of actually doing it for the right reasons. Number one, they add a seminar piece like this. Some people take value in it, some people don't. I coached college basketball for 12 years, all different levels. I think the biggest thing is, we moved to Texas when my son was in 6th grade. Texas is great for all sports athletically. I was just telling one of my good friends that. But you can't, like, it can create fear in parents that you're behind in terms of like your kid's development or what you're doing to expose them. This is great because they're just giving us tools right now. But you can't be fooled in thinking like, oh, it's 4th grade if we didn't go out to New York City and play with the best. Like, they'll find you. Like, it was my job. Like, I get fired if I don't go find good kids. Like, I'm gonna call him at some point, and it's not gonna be 4th grade. That kid may not grow another inch. So again, this is informative, but I think when we start talking about different media outlets and who's the guy, I think you just use them all for information. Like, 2 great resources, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. Now I will say, and that was a good point with him. So I think it all kind of ties together, the development piece and getting the exposure. Because I don't believe if you're good enough, they'll find you. I'm not.
You gotta be seen.
You gotta have some type of media behind you. But the foundation does start with the development. So if you're good, you're gonna draw the cameraman to you initially. So that's how you get found. Like, even if you're recording yourself on the phone and putting it out there.
True.
That's exposure in a sense. Like, you might got somebody that follow you that know somebody that you keep putting out, like, dang, she keep doing this or he keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't no scout or nothing, but you doing your job as a parent and your kid doing their job.
Right.
And you put it on Facebook, you put it on the YouTube, you put it on Twitter, and then somebody retweeted, and it's kind of like, that's how the fire just got started. Because you don't build the foundation.
True.
You don't keep throwing logs on the fire, and now the fire just keeps getting bigger and bigger. But she kind of wanted me to talk about the balance between basketball and having an ordinary life.
Yeah. So the theme of today was the life of a college athlete. There is no life. So it's just basketball and academics, truly. Okay, so for high school, it's kind of hard because, you know, you got the 8-hour rule, you got your rules, you may only have an hour or whatever. But when you get to the collegiate level, it's like, for instance, my program, we're on the floor ready to go at 6 a.m. Okay, they got breakfast at 8. Then we have weight room. Then they have classes between 10, 2 o'clock. Then we have mandatory study hall every evening in a block, 7 to 9. Then they come back again, 5 a.m. And then, of course, your nutrition, your strength and conditioning. It's no holidays. So, like, if you're one and your child is one that's just used to coming home, that first semester might be hard for them because they don't really come home. And everybody's like, oh, coach, how are you here right now? But it's just like different coaches and, you know, different platforms or conferences, you're able to schedule a break. But for the most part, it is none. Once they leave in August, it's eat, sleep, shower, that's it. If your kid is one of those that's still trying to like, oh, I don't have the work-life balance, just let them know, like, what is your end goal, you know? I'm a part of the D9 I'm Greek, and so I talk to a lot of my student athletes about that too. But you can't even have that conversation when you're a freshman, really. When you really understand like the requirements and everything, I do encourage it, but the focus has to be basketball, if that's what it is, and academics. And then again, like study halls required so many hours, 8 hours, and that's the minimum. And then we talked about the 2.0 or 15 credits. So with all the NIL and the full-time, should they get paid, all this, like, yeah, because I tell my student athletes, this is their job. So just like y'all got an 8 to 5, they're doing double overtime. And it irks my nerves when I get certain people, admin and professors and even other student athletes on campus that try to down the athletes, but nobody is up that early, maximizing like their mind, body, everything for a certain amount of hours. Then some of them want to try to work to offset whatever income that, disadvantages that they might not have, and there's no time for it. And that's even at the NAIA level. So just with the JUCO and every other one is gonna be work, grind, work, grind. So again, if they don't have that in them now, as far as the grades, number one, and if they're already complaining about practices, 2-a-days, high school is not enough for y'all to just to go to your high school practices. You have to have a trainer, you have to put in that other time, and it's the same thing in the collegiate world. Like me, it's just me and a grad assistant. So a lot of our individuals and these things, like I hire somebody else to do it, because we're only allotted so much time one-on-one with them. And so like we'll do virtual training sessions with some of their coaches, but it's a constant grind. Like they have access to the gym 24/7. And some of my players, I know we get up at 5 a.m., but a lot of them, depending on their schedule, like they're in there 1, 2 a.m., like putting up shots that you have to do. On break, I'm sure your coach gave you a workout routine that they still have to maintain, because when they get back, you might only have 1 day, 2 days of prep, and now you're playing again in conference when we get back from the breaks. And that's when everything counts. So that work balance, like it really does get them a calendar. Use your phones. Like there's no reasons why they don't have alarms, calendar sets, these things, but really just be proactive in that work and life balance.
Gotcha.
One question.
Okay.
Just really quick, do y'all ever tell the kids this? Like, do y'all ever say, hey kids, like, this is what it's gonna take?
Oh, yeah.
Rather than the parents, like, y'all.
Yeah.
y'all part of
I
this?
tell them all the time.
Like,
When I coach high
maybe
school,
conferences?
yes. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just curious, because
Yeah.
I think it would be good for the kids to hear outside of, like, the parents.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure their coaches tell them it's the same middle school, whatever, it's the same thing. Like, y'all, if practice starts at 5 and you're in here at 5, no, like, y'all gotta be here at 4:30, dressed, ready, putting up shots. Then practice starts.
We got 2 more speakers that are former eyeball players.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. My Twitter, @Coach S Cooper 23. Twitter, everybody needs a Twitter. Oh, X.
That's all you had.
How you doing? Yes, ma'am. Come on.
Hold on. Just so we have some respect for the players. If you're gonna leave, y'all go ahead so that we can give the players some respect.
Excuse me. All right, so we got Spirit and we got Jaelon. Spirit goes to Mary State College, right? Jaelon. Crowley High School. You was committed. You did decommit. We'll kind of get into that later, but just kind of talk about y'all journey. Like y'all was here the first ever Eyeball Nation showcase. So just kind of talk about just coming back and being able to give your perspective on the journey.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Split year 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at the first and the second one. Time gonna go by like so fast, and just coming back, it's pretty surreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is crazy, not gonna lie, because I remember it wasn't even as many like players at the camp. It was a lot of people, but just seeing that all the people that's helping out, it's like crazy, because it was only like 4 coaches the first time. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Gotcha. What is one thing that you kind of you will take away from your journey going through this process, going to showcases, playing AAU, playing high school, and then kind of getting to the next level?
I would just say, like, going to things like this has prepared me, like, in the competitive aspect of it, because when you step into the high school realm, it's gonna be straight who's competing in practice every day, like stuff like that, who's showing up every day. So stuff like this, it prepares you to get you in that nature, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. Jaelon, you're still in high school, but I mean, just coming to showcase, your recruiting journey is pretty much kind of over in a sense, as far as like trying to get to college. I know you probably got somebody that you're about to commit to, but just kind of talk about, you was like one of those players that like really was that guy coming to like these type of camps, like flashy handles, like people know about you, like the cameras draw to you, but kind of talk about your journey is like how getting to where you got to, like the level that you kind of get to play Division I basketball.
I feel like to be honest, like middle school, like it's cool, like it sets a foundation on how you're gonna be in high school and but it really doesn't like determine anything. Like it's a lot of guys that I didn't even know who like I never seen before come like take scholarships from players like even me. Like I feel like I didn't get to a level where I think my potential could got to, even because of the transfer portal, but even some freshmen are coming in taking scholarships that I think I should have got that I never seen before. So it really like if you're like not like a big name in middle school, or like if you're not a top ranked kid, don't hold your head, because it really doesn't matter. Like it really matters when you get to about your sophomore, junior year, because I really even 15U freshmen don't really like, it don't really mean nothing for real. Just it's a guy. For example, there's a guy. I'm not gonna say his name, but I didn't see him since he got to his junior year. This kid came out of nowhere. He ends up at North Texas. So it's just like, it really doesn't matter.
Trayon?
Ma'am?
Do you know Trayon?
Yeah, Trayon. Yeah, he's in North Carolina.
His brother plays with my son.
For real?
Jaelon.
He's another kid. Yeah, he came out of nowhere. Getting a lot of D1 attention. So it's just, it really doesn't matter. Bro. It really, just keep working. Just kill everything in front of you.
That might be the biggest gem out of the whole seminar that y'all can take with y'all, especially with an event like this. Just because your kid is killing now, don't mean he gonna kill or she gonna kill in 3-4 years.
People peak, kids peak, and other kids keep working. Like those sleepers that she was talking about, those kids, as long as they keep their head down and keep on working, it's gonna work out for them either way. There's a school for everybody.
That's good, Jaelon. That's really good. That's good. I ain't gonna lie. Like that gave me some chills, boy. I ain't gonna lie. Cause that's real. Like that's the real. Cause like he was like one of those kids. Like everybody was like, oh, he gonna ooh. Like granted, he still got to Division I, but it's kind of like for real. Like yeah, it's like that's real life. Like real life scenario.
Another cool story, actually.
Go ahead.
A friend of mine, she committed to a Division III program, right? And that Division III coach ended up getting a Division I job, and he takes her with her.
Nice.
That's how fast stuff like that changes. Like everybody's journey is different. You know what I mean? So you have to keep working. Literally, she had a game versus LSU and was killing. A Division III kid. You know what I mean? So it's like it literally just matters on the time, place. All the stars are gonna align. Like it's gonna work out as long as your kid keeps working and they really, really want it. It'll happen.
Relationships. Yep.
My question is more around how, for you guys specifically, how important was a specific style of coaching for you? Like I find sometimes there are coaches who are focused on winning, and so they will use the talent of the kid at that point in time, but not necessarily develop them from a growth perspective. So can you maybe touch on if there was a coach that was more impactful for you, or like how did you figure out where your playing style and a coaching style match together to kind of help you along your journey?
I play for a a lot of coaches just early on. So I think coach early on, like you should go somewhere like where it's more development and like critiquing. So because I'm not gonna say this, but for example, I played for Monte Ellis, so it wasn't he didn't care if we won by 30, we lost by 30. He was more focused on like, did you make the right play? Were you making the right reads? Like next day in practice, we're gonna spend 30 minutes of film. We're gonna work on everything that we did wrong. We're gonna it just I don't know.
What grade was that?
7th grade, 6th grade.
Gotcha. Go ahead.
So, as a parent, like what's one thing that y'all feel like your parents did that really impacted you, and what's one thing you wish your parents would have did better as players?
Okay, I answer that one. I was a coach's kid, still am. Y'all may or may not understand that dynamic. But I would say just my dad and my mom not letting me run from adversity. I would say, like, after our ball, 8th grade, I was going into one of the top tiers high school programs, South Grand Prairie. He knows all about it. I was going to a really good program, and as a freshman, I mean, it was either, yeah, I was good enough to play on varsity, but it's like, are you gonna compete? Like, are you, like, you know what I mean? But it was like, may not get as much minutes. So what happens? Go on JV, star player on JV. Next year, sophomore year, I'm on varsity now, but it's like I'm not getting as much minutes. Naturally, you're gonna think, should I transfer? My dad's like, no, you're not transferring. You're not gonna transfer. You're gonna keep showing up every day. You're gonna keep working hard. You're gonna keep fighting. First person there, last person to leave. You're gonna keep working hard. Grinded it out. It was really, really tough not playing as much. Junior year, started playing a lot more. Ended up making it to the state championship, so I had a lot of success in that. Senior year, it's like, okay, now I'm one of the girls on my team that's like, has a lot of weight on my shoulders. Okay, cool. Ended up doing pretty well my senior year, I would say. And I ended up setting a 3-point record for the most amazing season, if that makes sense. So none of that happens if my parents fed into that doubt, of that self-doubt that I was having, like, oh, should we transfer? I could have went somewhere else my freshman year and started and been that person, you know what I mean? And him allowing me to battle and fight through that adversity has prepared me and taught me so much for me not being on the collegiate level, because it's gonna be the same thing all over again. You know what I mean? So, yeah, say that.
Yeah, I think a lot of parents struggle with that nowadays, especially with social media. Just like my man's are here compared with the video. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be moments like that's not gonna stop. Like, that's an ongoing process. So if you don't face it early, or you don't face it when it appears, like, you just gonna keep going through that same cycle. It's just like God gonna keep sending that same test until you eventually face it. You know what I'm saying? Until you pass it. So I think like that's like the biggest thing like a lot of parents struggle with, even at the high school level. And I think that's where it faces most, like, dang, my kid put in this work, my kid doing this, my kid better than this kid. But you don't see all the dynamic pieces. Just like Mama said, she said the coach is playing to win. So right now, your kid may not fit that puzzle piece right now to win these games, even though your kid may be good. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like, I think like that's the different dynamic. It's the difference between being miserable and facing adversity. So I think you got to find a balance between the two. Yeah, that's kind of like my take. I think that's huge. Like letting your kids like go through some challenging. You know what I'm saying?
Were either one of y'all multi-sport athletes in high school? Like what? And I mean, yeah, and then also how do you feel like that impacted your progression as an athlete with the focus on basketball?
No, sir. I just hoop. But middle school, I played everything though: track, football, basketball. But yeah, you take everything, other sports, and it helps with your main sport, basketball.
Growing up, my parents put me in a little bit of everything, so I ended up choosing basketball because I came from a basketball family. But yeah.
I think for me, and I think about this a lot. I played multiple sports kind of growing up. Even when I got to college, I played basketball. But then I'm from the country, so I'm from East Texas, so we play football. Football like the main thing. So it's kind of like I wanted to play football in college. Like I played like a year of college in football, so it's just kind of like I feel like early on, put your kids in everything because you never know what they gonna attract to. Like you might love basketball, but they may love tennis or something like that. But like you know what I'm saying, it's a weird dynamic. But it's just kind of like I feel like put them in everything. Like let them try everything. Like even my daughter, like she loves volleyball, but I'm like in middle school you gonna do everything. Like even if you don't want to do it, like you just gonna do everything because I don't know what else you may like. And for girls, I feel like girls get burnt out faster than guys. Girls are quick to quit a sport and be like, hey, I'm finna go get this money. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm finna go get this job. So with boys, they'll chase their dream a little bit longer, even though they might not even get the opportunity. So I feel like if you're an elite athlete, like you're athletic, and that kid wants to play multiple sports, let them play multiple sports. At the end of the day, they gonna be where they're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like if they supposed to be a certain athlete at this level, then that's what they gonna be at the end of the day. I know it's a bunch of people that made it to the NFL. Hooping was they love hooping, but they made it to the NFL because that's the meal ticket. NFL was a meal ticket. They wasn't gonna make a meal ticket doing this hooping stuff. They, at heart, they love hooping. You know what I'm saying? And it's vice versa. Like, you meet some basketball players that love football, but they're like, hey man, basketball paying my bills. So I think it's like a fine balance. If your kid wanna keep doing multiple sports, like, let them do it. At the end of the day, like, I think it's like a fine balance. But I do think like, whatever sport they pick, they do gotta focus in on that a little bit more, but still do the other sports. I got a cousin in Drexel right now. He, like I said, we're from East Texas. So he went to a 2A school, then he ended up transferring to a 4A school in West Texas for a better opportunity to kind of play, get on a better exposure. But he played all sports. He ran track, played football. But on the flip side, he was still getting up in the morning, putting his basketball work in, even though he had practice doing these other sports. You know what I'm saying? So I think like, if your kid know they want to play a certain sport and they still want to play these multiple sports, it's kind of like, all right, what sport do you really want to focus on when you get to college? Well, you know you got this work, but you still go do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like still let them be a kid at the end of the day. But I do think it's a cutoff, like social life. Like you got to minimize your social life when you're an athlete at the end of the day. Like when you're in high school, middle school.
We're gonna let my man answer right here, and then we're gonna let them go. So y'all players are already on course 5-on-5, so we'll let him wrap us up.
So basically, it's age-based, to answer your question. When they're little, let them play every sport they can play. Okay? For me personally, with my kids are old as crap. I'm old. I let them play every sport. I didn't even try to coach them. Just let them play, okay? And it just once they hit a certain age, like 4th and 5th grade, that's when my wife, at that point, that's when we took our kids in and started coaching. We didn't get them before 4th and 5th. And 6 was our cutoff. Once we got you at 6, that's when you develop your way out. So you got to put them in every sport, let them play, right? 2, as they progress going up and growing up, going to high school is very critical, okay? So like my son was a 4-sport athlete. He started freshman, senior, football, and basketball, right? I actually had 8 of my kids out of my organization at that time, started high school, football, and basketball. But here's the kicker. You gotta go talk to them high school coaches and make sure that's okay. Because a lot of these coaches want you to play football and football only, basketball only. So you gotta find that right high school mix. That would be my biggest thing to tell you. Find that mix, let them know they wanna play. Then again, to top it out what you were saying, your kid has to have that work mentality.
Yep.
They gotta have it. Because that's not gonna be a social life. If you're gonna focus on football and then now you're gonna try to play basketball, you gotta be working all the time. And I'm gonna use me for my example. I was better at basketball, but as you can see, I ain't growing no more. I'm just 6 foot, right? So I had to take football. I had no choice. So when that first scholarship offer came for football, actually I had 4 at my time, and I just had to decide to pick the first 4 best schools at the time. So but here's the dilemma, like we were saying earlier. Here with NIL and all these old cats coming from, and old girls coming from pros that tried out, that still had college eligibility. Those college coaches are looking at them first, right? 24, 25, 26 years old. So back to that basics. Your kid has to work and keep being trained, and y'all gotta be supporting them the whole time. That's my advice.
So we gonna get y'all out so y'all can get y'all kids on the court. But on behalf of Eyeball, man, we really appreciate you giving us an opportunity. Y'all can come out this way.